Yo, what's up, everybody? This is coming live from the Slightly Buzzed podcast studio.
Three,
2,
1.
bang.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Slightly Buzzed podcast. We are here on a beautiful, beautiful day in southeastern Michigan, enjoying some vibes, ready to try some beer. How we doing today, boys?
Oh, the vibes are there, dude. And yeah, you're not wrong. The weather is awesome, dude, and I'm all about it. Feeling good, though. Ready to bring this podcast to the people because it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Kyle, what's up with you? How you doing?
I'm great, man. Feeling nice and loose.
Loosey-goosey?
Yeah, dude, totally loosey-goosey. Honestly, more than ever, I'm really excited to try today's beer. I think it's really going to be, it could be a good one. It's got a lot of potential.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we might as well just jump right into it then. Kyle,
What are we drinking?
what do we got? What you got for us today?
We're going to be trying something from Arbor Brewing Company. They're out in Ann Arbor, Michigan, just off of East Washington Street.
Hey,
Tonight, we'll be drinking their Buzzsaw IPA.
Cool. Yeah, I've been to Arbor Brewing a couple times. Great spot. They've got a couple different locations. They also have one right in the heart of downtown Plymouth. Great spot, great vibes, a lot of great beer. They also have some solid food. Their flatbread pizzas are nuts.
Oh, for real?
Oh, yeah.
oh, flatbread pizza just goes ham in general.
Dude,
Sounds
no.
so good. Oh, my God.
I think I had some buffalo wings there, too, that weren't too shabby, if I do say so
Love
myself.
buffalo wings. Oh, no, here we go.
Nice.
Ooh, this is going to be shaken for sure.
Yeah, not my best toss,
Thanks,
but
guy.
it served a purpose.
And also, they have another brewery that I just forgot about. I've also been
You want me to
to.
throw you another one?
No.
Keep it like ready. That was even worse.
Jesus, bro.
I'm in shambles.
And they do have another location. I believe it's where they brew the majority of their beers out in Ypsilanti,
Yes, sir.
over there in Depot Town. And been there. That's a phenomenal spot. Got a nice little patio in the back.
For real.
Great food once again. I think I went there on like a pint night or something like that. They had some specials going on. Very well priced beers. Very high quality beers. It's a high quality time. I don't think I've had any bad experiences at all with anything
quality.
Arbor Brewing.
No, dude, I've heard it's a great spot. I've been, I think, only once or twice, possibly, maybe more. But what's that?
Have we gone to the downtown Ann Arbor location together? I think we have.
I want to say I've been there with you, and I think I've been there one other time with. I want to say it was with my dad.
Yeah.
But all in all, great spot. I was happy with the beers and Buzzsaw IPA. Let's go.
Yeah, Kyle, how about you tell us a little bit about this here beer?
Absolutely. So Buzzsaw pays homage to Ypsilanti's early years when sawmills handcrafted the lumber that built the town. Lumber has since given way to beer, and our brewers now craft with barley and hops. Loaded with Simcoe, Mosaic, and Citra, those are the different hops, Buzzsaw cuts through the layers of tropical fruit, citrus, and resinous pine. Let's raise a glass to the craft, whatever your craft may be.
It's got a beautiful color.
Yeah,
Right out of the
beautiful
gate. It just
golden-
looks like a good IPA.
Solid head as well. It's not dissipating very fast.
I don't know if you noticed, but when I poured mine, like I was trying to make sure the head was there, and it like didn't like rise up normally. Like it sat there and then it like came up.
Yeah.
At least for mine, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, same. I don't know if you caught it, but
It's
when
thick, too.
when I opened up the can, it started foaming out the top. That was kind of interesting. But yeah, no, absolutely beautiful, dark golden color. This screams IPA,
Oh, all day.
and this screams summer evening. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, man. No, it's got like a really nice. You can smell the Citra. Like it just smells so juicy.
whoa.
The hops are definitely there.
It's almost a little sour on the front end, which I like a lot.
Almost get like pine too.
Yeah. A little bit of pine, which makes sense with what they're going for.
A lot of pine trees in Ann Arbor, eh?
No.
Well, you know, they're around.
um,
He goes, no. I see pine trees everywhere. There's one
Honestly,
right,
yeah.
right next to your apartment.
I'm gonna give this the.
It smells super good.
It was sweeter that time when I really let it unleash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys.
Oh, I'm getting a huge whiff of honey on the back end.
Can we
Little
take a sip?
Yeah, maybe that's where the sweetness is.
Yeah,
Honey
I get it.
sweetness,
I get
yeah.
a big hit of honey, but
He wants to take a sip.
all right, boys.
Cheers,
Cheers
boys.
up.
Wait,
Let's
told you I'm excited.
Here we go. Here's episode 12.
yeah,
Cheers.
let's get it.
And Arbor Brewing Buzzsaw IPA. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That
Yeah.
bitter like back taste that IPAs usually have. It's there and it's strong, but it dissipates so fast.
Yeah, it's very bold, very hop forward, and I first
Almost, it
sip.
turns sour at the end after you get that bitterness. Do you guys agree
Yeah,
with that?
it's sour, and are you guys getting a lot of like floral accents in there?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean those the citra hops are really showing through, and then those floral accents. I mean, it pops. It gets your taste buds going, dude.
Yeah,
like your
this
taste buds
cramps
you
in
start
my mouth.
salivating. It really
Yeah,
makes my
for
tongue
real.
salivate.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, this is
Big. I like to call this one bold and brash.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. So far, 2 sips in, this is what I would define as a really solid IPA.
Really good.
And we've touched on this before. Sometimes I think there was a race to make IPAs as bitter as possible
And it's super hoppy.
and as hoppy as possible, and just kind of ignored anything other than profile or promoting that hoppiness.
They're like the flavors in the hops, and it's like, well, I mean,
And
you can
there
overdo
are-
it.
there are.
A flavor definitely comes from hops, but there's a fine line between overdoing it and just hitting it right.
Yeah, and I think they hit it just right here. I'm not mad about the number one issue I have with IPAs have always been the lingering taste of bitterness in my mouth, and I'm not getting that right now.
No, like I said, dude,
I'm
it
getting-
dissipates quick.
Yeah, the pine I think is doing a good job of washing out the bitterness at the very end.
Okay.
Oh yeah, almost like I don't know. You almost get like a little grapefruit vibe too, like when you're kind of like getting her down. Like you
Actually,
kind of
that's
get like
fair.
that, like
Yeah.
subtle grapefruit almost. It's really good.
And on the fruit profile, I potentially like apricot. I don't know if you guys are getting that,
I
but
don't think I've ever had an apricot. I genuinely don't think I've ever had an
apricots
apricot.
are good, dude. I like apricots.
I'll
Yeah, I
never
don't
forget
know
one
what they
time.
taste like.
I got a Snapchat from Tim at like 3 o'clock in the morning one time, and it was just the most disgruntled look of a face I've ever seen. And the caption was, "I found an apricot in my
No,
bed."
you're wrong.
I swear to God, I
It was a
have it.
grapefruit.
No, it's an app. It literally says apricot. I looked at it the other day. It
Really?
came
Wait,
up. It popped
where did
up.
you find this?
Dude, literally, I was I was really confused. I was probably like 20, 19 or 20.
I think it was when you were still going out camping.
No, I was in Flint.
I thought you were in Jackson.
No,
At
I
like
was.
some camping thing.
Oh, that's possible too.
And you were like, "I found an apricot in my bed," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I woke up and I was just like cuddling an apricot.
I'm not gonna ask questions.
I didn't
Neither
either.
am I.
I just like screenshotted it and was like, "This might be funny to use later."
Dude, I totally thought it was a grapefruit. We'll find the picture.
We'll find the picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of you said that this beer has like Nick, you said it has like a grapefruit taste. I
Yeah.
think that's the right word. Earlier I mentioned at the end it goes from like bitter to sour.
hmm
I feel like it's more like bitter to tart, and
Sure.
maybe it's that
Yeah, that
grapefruit
tart.
flavor that's getting.
I think that's a good pickup. That's a good call. I wouldn't like sour. I didn't really get that vibe, but
Yeah,
tart
no,
definitely
no, no.
plays in. Yeah.
I don't get the sour flavor. I do get a little sour at the first whiff.
Okay.
But I do think in the beer itself, it evens out into a nice tartness.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, sour and tart kind of go hand in hand.
You know why?
Not necessarily
Sure.
always, but they're kind of there.
I still can't get over how much this makes my tongue salivate. Like every time I take a sip, like my taste buds just fire every time. Like I'm just like, ugh. It's amazing. It's really good.
No, dude, it is. I'm salivating a decent amount.
I like it though a lot. It tastes really good.
Yeah, Cal, are you a big IPA guy?
I wouldn't call myself big, but
I wouldn't either.
yeah, it's not something that I find
needs to hit the
myself
weight room.
picking out a lot. But since I've been trying them, and ever since that Oberon, I've really come to enjoy them. it's just a different type of experience to drink an IPA.
It's definitely a good change up every once in a while because you get used to like the ales and the typical beers that you're used to drinking. You
Yeah.
know, ones that just mainstream beers. But IPAs really throw you like a nice little change up every once in a while. And it's cool how so many different breweries have so many different twists that they put on them. And I think this just goes to show, you know, the creativity that the brewmasters really put behind some of these ones.
I also feel like there's a myriad of different types of hops
Yeah.
that gives the brewmasters or brewmakers.
What a $10 word. Myriad. Nice. Chalk it up to a dub.
It's not that fancy of a word, but I just feel like there's a lot of different variations of hops, and that gives IPAs. Like, I've had a lot of IPAs in a lot of different ranges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, most of them have some floral or fruity essence to it, but there's a lot of play with what you make an IPA into.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've seen in the past couple of years, breweries really try to branch out and incorporate as many different ingredients as possible to get these really cool different concoctions that you know nobody's seen before.
Right. And like I said, like it just falls back on the creativity of the brewmasters. And I'm sure they try so many different styles and so many different batches. And it's like the ones that they get right. I mean, generally speaking, over the past few years, like there have been a lot of IPAs that have just been done really well,
Oh yeah,
extremely well, and it's awesome because, you know, you like to, like I said, you like to change up. You like to get away from some of the mainstream beers, and IPAs are a good way to do that.
oh yeah, definitely.
Now they might take a little bit of like taste preference to get used to. I think that's one thing that IPAs like kind of miss a lot of people with is that a lot of them can be an acquired taste.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think it is certainly an acquired taste, but if you ease into it,
Oh, yeah.
it is a rapidly developing taste for it.
That's been me.
Yeah.
I'm that person.
And I do think IPAs kind of get a bad name every once in a while from like the beer snobs out
dude.
there. Even though, dude, we're like kind of beer snobs, but we just like beer.
6.8% too.
Really?
This guy, he's always commenting.
These boys are clapping.
Yeah.
It's going to come out firing.
All right.
But yeah, I think IPAs get a bad name because of a lot of the quote beer snobs out there, and I think that turns off a lot of potential craft drinkers to IPAs as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like most people I know that have stuck their toes in the water and tried one,
Yeah.
that they're pretty much going to enjoy it. And some people obviously just don't like certain things. That's cool. To each their own.
100%. That's why there's so many different styles of beers.
Yeah.
Find something that works for you and roll with it, but give an IPA a shot while you're at it too, especially Buzzsaw IPA.
Yeah, dude, this is
Cool name too.
This
Like
is
it.
absolutely phenomenal.
I like the backstory that was on the box, talking about how it's like built around the people who, like the guys who worked in sawmills and built. What's the? What did they say? Like,
the lumber that built our town.
thank you.
That's what they
Yeah,
said.
I wanted to make sure I was encompassing it
You know,
correctly.
it's funny because we were just talking about Paul Bunny in the last episode about how like Michigan was kind of built around
Dude,
the
lumber
lumber
was
industry.
Huge.
It's absolutely massive.
Yeah.
You ever been to Lumberman's You've definitely been up to Lumberman's Monument up north. I took
He
you there.
took me to it. Yeah.
That's just it.
You ever been there? I know. Yeah, I took you there.
Yeah, it hit me halfway through. But yeah, no, our state's really deeply ingrained with the lumber industry. We've got two national forests.
So
in
there's the
state?
Huron and the
Whichever
one
one's in
that's-
the UP.
Yeah, they're not the same, are they?
No, Huron National Forest is strictly Lower Peninsula.
Okay, yeah. Gosh, what's that? I can't remember, but
Three.
national forests?
Wait, ice can't be right, is it?
It's possible.
ones and twos.
So
we need.
Manistee.
Oh,
National
Manistee
Forest.
for sure.
Yeah, that was
Yup.
the one. And that's in the Lower Peninsula too, right?
I don't even know off the top of my head. I feel bad. I'm looking it up though.
We need the maps.
Yeah, Manistee, west side of
Yep.
the Lower Peninsula. Huron.
Huron's like directly north of us.
Yeah, and it stretches all the way. It actually stretches across to the west side of the state.
Yeah, Huron's huge.
It is. It's
That's-
massive.
That's where my cabin is up there.
Super cool.
Smack dab in the middle of the Huron National Forest.
Hmm.
What was the third one?
Surprised you didn't dab, dude.
Well, that's the thing. I'm reading it. It looks like we have the
I
Hiawatha
do.
National Forest, which is in the UP. We have the Ottawa National Forest in the UP, and then I guess they combine the Huron and Manistee to be the Huron Manistee National Forest.
Okay, that's
got a
fair.
hybrid, huh?
I've definitely seen.
I guess.
Okay, so when you go up north, if you're like up on Route M65 or M55, they have old signs that are in wood that
Yep.
were definitely built probably in like the late 50s or something like that.
Sure.
And those say Huron National Forest. But if you go up to the signs at like the overpass overlooks and stuff like that, they say Huron Manistee National Forest, and those were probably put in about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So-
sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by it.
State of Michigan's so cool, dude.
Oh, so badass, especially in the summertime. All right,
No doubt.
so this beer, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what else has been fantastic?
What?
The Jordan documentary.
The Jordan doc has been crazy.
Oh,
And-
The Last Dance.
Yeah. The Last
that, I
Dance.
could not think of the name of it, dude.
Neither could I.
So I was
I
like,
was just like,
the Jordan documentary.
Yeah, it's been really cool, and I think a lot of people our age are finally getting to see Jordan in what he was. I think everyone assumes our age, like, yeah, Jordan, GOAT, whatever. But this documentary, they were able to access film crews into the Bulls locker room for the entire last season of the Bulls dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing stuff that nobody's ever seen before. It is just a really well done documentary. I think we got just 2 more parts coming out this Sunday night.
Yep.
So stoked for that, obviously. But to see Jordan and see the competitive nature of Jordan, and the other thing is we're seeing a little bit of the dark side of Jordan, if you would call it that. But the perils of fame and how big he was on an international scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it also sheds a lot of light in just like how different the game was then for that era compared to now, especially with like just overall player conduct, what it's like inside the locker room, outside the locker room, what the fandom was like. And I just like fandom might not be like that big of a difference, but at the same time, it's like, 2 different eras of basketball, 2 different styles of basketball being played, and it's like our generation's getting to see firsthand like what this was like in regards to such an influential player and team franchise.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. There's a lot that's really gone into it. Like you said, there's a lot of cool footage that just nobody is really aware of.
Yeah, the cool thing about the style of play is Jordan had to so he was drafted in 83. So he had to adapt from the 80s style of play, which was very rough, very tough, bad boy Pistons-esque, where if you went to the hole, you were getting whacked. They might call a foul, they might not. And then they went into the 90s, where Jordan was able to get more calls because of his superstar status, but they slowly geared the rules in a better direction, I'd say. I think there's almost a little too much of an overcorrection in today's basketball, where there's no hand checking, you can't. There's a lot of ticky-tack fouls right
Yeah,
now.
100%.
But it was cool to see Jordan's progression throughout all that. But I think the coolest thing so far has been Jordan's competitive nature. That dude was a maniac.
Yeah, I mean, and he was a multi-sport professional athlete.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So he wins 3 rings. His father passes away, or his father gets murdered.
Which is also just one terrible, two, like, how do you deal with that?
Absolutely terrible situation, and Jordan and his dad were very, very close. You see that there is several allegations of Jordan's gambling becoming an issue at that time. The NBA had an open investigation. There were checks worth $50,000 that he was signing to kind of money sharks. So there was speculation that maybe Jordan had something to do with his dad getting murdered, like he didn't pay back debts. And how terrible of a feeling would that be?
Oh, that'd be horrible.
Pretty much the police came out and said it was just a random situation. His dad drove late at night, pulled over at the side of the road to take a nap, and got mugged, shot, and they stole his car.
Did somebody report that there might be like
Yeah,
a correlation between
mainstream media was proposing
that would
idea.
just be one that would piss me off, and 2, that's brutal, man.
That would make things so much worse to already have lost your father and then have people basically telling you it might be your fault and it's not. I'd be so frustrated.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's sorry, cut you off there, bud. But it's interesting to see how we live in a society right now where we criticize journalistic integrity all the time as to what how we report, and people are really down to just get the first scoop out, the first story out, no matter the validity of the information.
Yeah.
But even in a world that wasn't dominated by digital media, that was still an issue.
Well,
in
yeah,
the
and
90s.
it's such a hot take too. Like that's such an attention grabber. Even if
Yeah.
like it's obviously just based off entirely on speculation too. Like obviously somebody heard that claim and they were like, "Oh, this is the story."
Yeah, and it was major news reporters, like it was in the New York Times, like all this stuff claiming that Jordan may have had something to do with his father's death, and that's even furthering the notion that Jordan was doing something illegal in the gambling realm.
Yeah.
It's been proven right now that those debts he paid, the checks that were cashed, were just for really big golfing match like tournaments or competitions between him and some other guys.
Dude's a beast on the links.
He wasn't that good,
He's
but he was so competitive
Yeah.
that he would go up against way better players and just be like, I mean, a gazillionaire too. So he's like, let's throw 100K on this random hole, or let's throw 100K on this match, or something like that. Because money wasn't really an issue
Right.
at all.
And he loves the pressure, doesn't he?
oh,
Oh,
probably.
Yeah.
that dude. You know, it's funny in the doc. He says he's like, I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competition problem, where putting money on it just raises the stakes and brings him to that next level.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds like saying you have a gambling problem, but like with more steps.
oh
No,
yeah,
no, dude.
100%.
With more steps.
His justification was he was like, well, yeah, my kids are eating good and I'm not broke, so like, what's the problem?
He's like, I'm just really competitive, and it like makes me more competitive when there's something on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
He's like, and if I can take your money, all the better.
Yeah,
He's actually
that-
pretty decent at golf though now.
Yeah,
Might have
he-
sucked
he
back
was
in the
solid.
day, but
No,
he's actually pretty decent
No,
now.
he was good, but he would go up against like professional golfers.
Yeah,
and
you
be
don't do
like-
that. You don't
yeah.
bet professional golfers like, hey, I'm going to beat you on this hole. Bet you $10,000 I will. Because they're just going to be like, well, I already get paid to do this, so sure.
Yeah. So it was really interesting. So the NBA opened up a investigation into him and his gambling to see if anything was going on. His father dies. He wins his third ring, and the fame at that point had gotten to the point where he could not leave his hotel room. He couldn't leave his house. It was hotel room, facility, home, facility, game, practice facility. Like,
I mean, that sucks, but it definitely keeps you dedicated to your craft.
yeah. So
Because you're like, well, I can't go out and do things, so I might as well just go practice.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So pretty much that's why he left for those couple years, and went and tried to play baseball.
Beast.
And the craziest thing about that is he was not at a AA skill level, but the AA properties or facilities were the only ones that had the capacity for the media that was going to follow him around.
I remember that.
So he walked into AA baseball after not playing for over a decade, 12, 15 years or whatever it was, and was just like, all right. He ended up with over 50 RBIs. He said he would hit batting practice 4 times a day until his hands were covered in bleeding and blisters. And Terry Francona, World Series winning manager, was the manager of the White Sox AA team at the time.
Yeah.
He said if Jordan had gone probably another year, he would have made it to the majors. So,
Jeez.
yeah, so I think
It's
everyone
insane.
gives Jordan a hard time about how he failed in baseball. But if Terry Francona says it, I'm apt to believe him. I mean, like you said, he's won. He brought a ring back to Boston, broke the curse of the Bambino
Yeah.
in 04. Won it with the Indians, right? A couple years ago.
Not to mention, baseball is one of the harder sports to actually make it to the actual pros.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different levels to it. That it's very rare for somebody to just jump right into the MLB. Like, unless you're really that good, a lot of the times you work your way up through the ranks.
Through the farm system.
Exactly. Even if you're down there for a few weeks and then you get moved up, you still start there.
The people he's playing against are all the best people from towns around the country and around the world that, I mean, I probably couldn't hit them.
No.
I think if they were throwing me curveballs and fastballs like pitching, I wouldn't get 50 RBIs.
Well, that was another thing. So a lot of people came at Jordan for making a mockery out of baseball. It just seemed like Jordan was built up to this godlike status,
Yeah.
and then as soon as one thing was able to tarnish his character, which was his gambling, they were like, all right, let's just burn this guy to the ground, which I think is a broader commentary on society as a whole.
Why
Like
do we do that?
Yeah, we build up these gods, and then we like to see them fail because,
It's like, okay, we put you on this pedestal now. Are you going to topple it, or are we going to topple it for you?
yeah, and 99% of the times, you know, we topple it. And I think it's a very toxic trait in society as a whole. But it's crazy.
Maybe it's natural though. Maybe it's just when you get attention on you, there's going to be good attention, there's going to be bad attention.
Yeah, there's going to be people that love you, and there's going to be people who are just like, nah, this guy or this person sucks, you know?
Yeah, for whatever reason.
And it's like they just do everything they can, their own, like, just to drag you down. It's annoying, but, like, at the same time,
It's human nature.
yeah, it just happens, so it is what it is. But it is weird at the same time, too. Like, looking back on Jordan, people have such, like, a high standard for Michael Jordan. Like, especially right now for the generation that we're
highest.
in. And the people, when you talk about, like, who's the best basketball player to, ever live.
Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah, and then it's like a bunch of people will say Jordan. They talk about how amazing he is, but it's crazy that at that point in time, there are people that were like, let's just end him. Everything we can. Like, any
Yeah.
type of conspiracy story, we're putting it out.
Well, there was a book that came out called Jordan Rules. Not to be confused with the Jordan Rules who the Pistons had. The bad boy Pistons. Anytime he got in the lane, they were like, take his legs out from underneath him. Those were the Pistons Jordan Rules. But there was a book that came out, I want to say in 92, the year before their first three-peat ended. And this reporter had back access to the Bulls. And he pretty much said Jordan was a terrible teammate. He was a tyrant. He was a bully in a lot of senses. But he pretty much said, look, I wanted to win championships. And if I wanted to test you, I know I'm the best. I know I'm the mentally toughest. So I'm going to push you to your limit to get the best out of you and to know who I can and can't count on when close game, fourth quarter. Who's going to be there? So he tests him throughout. And this book came out and everyone's like, oh, well, Jordan's this terrible guy. And that's kind of when the breakdown of Jordan started to happen.
Maybe that's what it takes, though. Maybe we only think you can be a perfectly flawless, kind person and win championships. Maybe you can't if you want to win championships.
There's a reason the man has 6 rings.
Yeah.
He put that team through the ringer. I mean, he was the leading charge for it all. And, like, without him, does that...
No, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. And even, like, great players like Steve Kerr. I want to say 5-time champion, won 3 with the Bulls, 2 with the Spurs, and then is a 3-time champion as a coach for some arguably the best teams of all time. These
Steve
Warriors.
Kerr's a beast.
Steve Kerr and him got into a scuffle at practice, and Jordan or Kerr went back at him. He was like, "You might think I'm this small white guy who just shoots threes, but you're not going to be able to boss me around." Or
hit you with the 1,
so
2.
so he shoved him, and Jordan came back and punched him in the face.
Oof.
Like literally clocked him, black eye and everything. And Jordan said that was probably the best thing for the team at the time, and now he knew he could count on Steve Kerr. He was like, Steve Kerr's a dog. He's not going to take it from anyone.
You can take a hit.
Steve Kerr gets up. I got you, bro. I told you. I got you.
And, well, the craziest thing is Jordan got kicked out of practice. Phil Jackson kicked him out, and later that day or the next day, Jordan came into the locker room and was just like, or came into the coach's office and was just like, I know I messed up, but that's how intense I am about this stuff. Like, this is my reality. We need to win titles, and I need to know the guys I'm riding with are here for it too. So,
what an interesting idea.
It's very intense, but at the same time, too, I mean, he makes a statement in the documentary. He's like, if you don't want to play like that, then don't play like that.
yeah, and the other thing he said that I found very interesting, and I think is a mark of a great leader, he's like, I didn't ask them to do anything that I didn't do.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're in you're in the lab grinding every day, practicing, getting shots up after practice, and competing at the highest level day in and day out, and you tell other people to do that too, you can't have any complaints with that.
No.
He's walking the walk. If you just say, you got to get extra shots up, and he isn't doing that, that's a completely different situation. But Jordan was doing it. So, I don't know.
Straight up.
He's my GOAT.
Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, most people who were asked about him being so intense kind of were like, yeah, it was crazy, but at the end of the day, we needed it. So I feel like, even if people say he's terrible and so harsh and all that, most of the people he played with kind of got it.
Yeah.
I feel like if there was a player to be like that today, the media would be all over him.
Yeah.
Like, you could not see a player like that today in today's league with how vocal the players are amongst each other and about each other. I feel like they would just consider that person a cancer or a poison. They wouldn't actually sit there and be like, okay, this person's dedicated and wants to win. It would be like literally trying to break the team, and then it would just be a huge fiasco, and that person would probably be viewed poorly by all teams and probably would just be exiled from the league, blackballed.
No doubt. And with the social media frenzy, 24 hours a day coverage of basketball, dude. I mean, there's clips in this where he's cussing out other players. There's one specific guy named Scotty Burrell, one of the nicest guys in the league, highly touted talent out of high school, did well in college, got drafted by the Bulls, and he was just a nice guy. He wasn't super intense like Jordan.
I'm here to hoop.
And he was berated by Jordan every single day. Like,
He
every
just took
day.
it, right?
And he took it, and that gained Jordan's respect. And sure enough, Scotty Burrell had a really big game where he popped off for like 36 points in the playoffs. And Jordan's like, all right, that's how I know.
This guy gets it.
Yeah. He's cool.
He's a player.
Yeah, but back to the gambling stuff. Right now we're seeing a developing situation, I would say,
Yeah.
in the NFL, completely different league. But we've got two guys, one from the Giants, one from the Redskins, I want to say.
It's a tough scene. These guys wound up in quite the predicament.
Yeah, dude. I'm not going to lie. I think they said they've got like $27 million between the two. I'm not robbing people, man.
No. At the same time, I'm probably not... What, they said it was over cards on a speculation or like a card game or some type of like gambling?
Yeah, so shouts out to Pat McAfee, the Pat McAfee Show. If anyone doesn't listen, the guy's absolutely electric. Give it a shot.
Yeah. Pat McAfee's an absolute animal.
Absolute beast.
Love the guy.
He was saying on his show that 4 days before these two players robbed a cookout, that they lost 70 grand in a card game. So the speculation he had, which I thought made a lot of sense, was either these card sharks invited him back to take more of their money,
Yeah.
because they sucked at cards, or maybe they won a game. He thinks what happened was they came back and then won, and these card sharks were expecting to take more of their money. So they were like, no, we're not paying you. So they took everything of value at gunpoint.
Yeah.
One of them...
So it was like there was 3 watches stolen for like a grand total of like just shy of $100,000.
Yeah,
or
there's some
something.
Rollies, baby.
Yeah, there was like a Rolex. There was some Hugo watch, and then another one. They amounted to some serious change.
Yeah.
And you want to know what the getaway cars were too? Like from the story that I read,
Isn't it a Lambo?
it was like a high-end Mercedes-Benz, a high-end BMW, and a Lamborghini. I'm just like,
Hey, you're right.
what is going on here?
That's funny.
What, Kyle, could you tell us what the guys' names are?
I can. So DeAndre Baker of the New York Giants and Quentin Dunbar of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah,
Seahawks, not Redskins.
Seahawk. Yeah. Yup.
So a
Yeah.
card shark, just so I'm clear on this, somebody who plays cards and is good at it and basically makes a living off of going around and gambling with people.
So what's the deal with this? So these guys just kind of sitting here and they're like, well, on the off chance the season doesn't happen, we need to try and recoup some of the money that we're not going to get for playing, or like, is this just degenerate gambling at its finest?
I think gambling and playing cards is a very prolific part of NFL culture. That's kind of what Pat was saying in his show.
So a lot of guys do it.
Yeah,
it's a common
very big thing. And Jordan did it.
Yeah, I know a
they
lot of
did it
people
on the
play
planes
cards
and
and
stuff.
shit. So
They
I guess it
can't
makes sense.
Yeah.
That was true. It's just they just always want to play cards.
Yeah.
It's because they're all competitive. They're like, okay, we can't really do anything. So like, what are we doing?
They
Like,
want
let's-
that rush.
Yeah, let's
Like
play
being
some
on the
cards,
line.
dude. Blackjack, Texas Hold'em. What are we playing? What do you want to play? Euchre,
Sorry
elite
about that.
game.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
Yeah.
If you're from the Midwest, Euchre's elite.
By the way, back to the beer for a second. That first one went down real well.
Yeah, I just about finished mine out.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna lie, I haven't.
I tried setting it down a few times so that I wouldn't cruise through it so fast,
I'm feeling
which makes no sense. But like, I was like, I don't know, I don't want to cook through it.
yeah,
Like,
but I'm feeling as strongly about it as I did in the beginning.
No,
I said with a couple of beers we've tried throughout the show, like on first sip, I was like, yeah, dude, this thing's great.
smell that glass before you pour that in there.
Oh, there's a lot right there. Oh,
It's actually like very fruity. Like you get a lot. Like yours is empty. Smell that glass. It's very fruity.
Dude, you seeing this? It is just foaming right
So
out the
here's what
top
I'm
of the
paying
can.
attention to. Look at my glass. Do you see how I think they call it lacing on the side of the glass where the
Ooh,
bubbles
look at this
just
guy with his
stick and they
terminology.
don't come down from the bottom? That's crazy to me.
Killing it.
Yeah, solid beer though.
Real
I'm
cool feature.
super
Yeah.
stoked about this one. But yeah, so back to Quentin Dunbar and
Quitting dumbass. What?
yeah, pretty much.
Jeez.
Harsh take. Harsh take.
Not harsh at all.
Nonetheless, I mean, you got an NFL career ahead of you. Why are you doing this shit? Why are you risking the potential to make tens of millions of dollars in your future I get like you might have got screwed out of some money here, but at the end of the day, it's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
Like you did this to yourself. So why are you taking, the action to go back and rob somebody at gunpoint? I believe one of them instructed another individual to actually kill somebody.
Yep.
These are things you don't want to see
Yeah.
if you're an NFL GM or a team owner. You're just like, listen, we just paid you however much money last year to play for us, and like I believe one of them was a 2019 first round draft pick,
Oof.
the guy for the Giants.
Yeah.
2019 first round draft pick is supposed to be a stud starter this coming season, and it's like, okay, now you just put your entire NFL career in jeopardy depending on how this all plays out.
Dude,
What is
Why?
You're on top of the world. And
You think you are.
you think you're on top of the world.
People,
and-
they need to stop thinking they are,
Yeah,
because
because-
money only gets you so far.
Yeah, but their whole life they've been playing this game where you literally size people up and basically see who can tackle each other. So then you lose the gambling thing, and you're like, I don't want to lose.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
disrespect to
But
my
sometimes
game.
you got to understand, like, that's in a game. That's life. You got to be able to differentiate the two.
I think there's a difference between thinking you're on top of the world, because they're relatively low in the NFL hierarchy, but I think they probably thought they were untouchable. I think that's what a lot of people get at.
Yeah, there's just, you get
You know
this
what I'm
like
saying?
this false
guess.
confidence. Like I get you're probably a
We've-
very confident individual and you have a lot of reasons to be, but like it only goes so far. Like you are not above the law.
Yeah.
Like you have to maintain a level headset. You got to be
Yeah.
able to conduct yourself properly. Like you have so much potential for yourself and for your family, and then you just go out and do something like this. It's brutal to see.
Well, they'll learn. I hope.
Yeah, and be like
Okay.
sitting there like, oh, I messed up big
So
time.
I think they're both
Probably.
facing pretty heavy charges from what I understand.
I don't think either of them has been incarcerated,
No,
which
not
is crazy.
incarcerated, but
They were
you can-
arrested.
yeah, you
But
can
they're-
still be charged and
Yeah.
then be free.
Oh, well, yeah, bond, like post your bail or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I guess you have 4 counts of armed robbery.
jeez.
For just
Jeez.
that or like previously?
I both of them.
So,
I don't
knowing the
know. I
NFL
think it's just for this.
They're going to focus on if someone potentially probably didn't deflate footballs, and these guys will be back for week 1 as soon as the NFL opens
God.
up. Dude,
No,
did
they'll
you-
definitely have suspensions. Don't worry.
I don't know, man. If they don't have any blemishes on their record and charges get dropped or something like that, they probably won't. But I don't think charges will get dropped.
No, there's no way charges get dropped. One
It's
of
an
them
armed
instructed somebody to
robbery, dude.
kill somebody.
An armed robbery.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's a felony,
lot.
definitely. Those charges aren't getting dropped, so they're most likely looking at a little bit of jail time,
Yeah, I would imagine.
small sentence. But the NFL has a funny way of getting their worst convicted felons back on the field if they're good at football. So,
Can we name some examples? I'm sure we have a few.
oh, there's plenty. Pac-Man Jones has at least like 5 armed robberies by now.
Dude, Pac-Man's a savage, dude. He's just like, I do what I want. We're just like, yeah, we know.
Greg Hardy was a certified domestic abuser. He was back in the NFL. He eventually got booted, but I think it was after his like 4th arrest for domestic abuse.
Yeah.
It's really only happened to one player where they were like, "Nope, we're done with you," and that was Ray Rice. And the craziest thing,
Dude, yeah,
is
Ray Rice was gone.
there was the video footage of him.
Dude, he knocked her out.
Left hooked his wife. I think it was his wife at the
Yeah.
time, or girlfriend. And the NFL had seen that footage and given him
tried to bury it.
and had given him a 2-game suspension and just labeled it under the domestic abuse policy.
Yep.
Then the footage went public, and then they were like, "All right, goodbye."
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
he lights her out.
It was so messed up, dude.
Like, 2 hits. He hit her and she hit the floor.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Then he dragged her out of the elevator.
Yeah, dude, it was a tough scene.
Wait, didn't Michael Vick also disappear
Yep.
after the dog fight?
Well, he was in jail, dude. He served like a stint in prison.
Yeah, it was short, but he came back.
It was like 7
He
years.
came back.
It was not 7 years. No.
No?
No, I think he was in jail for under a year. It may have been a 90-day jail sentence, to be honest. And no, I bet it was like 180 days. He was in there for a while, but he was
I thought it
back-
was well over a year.
So that happened in 2007, and he was back in the league by 2009.
It says he was sentenced to 23 months. I don't know what he served.
Yeah, I think he got out on good behavior.
548 days behind bars.
Yeah, so that's
2
just
years.
shy of 2 years.
Yeah. So yeah, 23 months. That's
Okay,
crazy.
yeah, so 7 years was way out of the realm, but like still. dude serves some like definite jail time.
But in all honesty, I got to give, as much as I hate the idea of dog fighting and the abuse that came with it, Mike Vick has continually taken the right steps to make right his wrongs.
I like watching him as an analyst on what network is he a part of? Is he with ESPN or is he with Fox?
I think he's Fox
or CBS.
Who is that?
I think he's NBC. Actually,
NBC.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, honestly, he does a really good job, especially when it comes like breaking down the offensive schemes in terms of like just quarterback play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like Tony Romo, but
No.
he definitely provides.
I don't know, Jim.
Tony Romo's a beast, dude.
Oh, I love Tony Romo.
Listening to Tony announce games is like by far one of my favorite things about the NFL. I was like, he better be on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, Fox got it still.
Stupid.
But
Romo's a beast.
yeah, he's continually
Beast Romo.
Yeah.
worked with
Come on, Tim.
what's
Did
it
that for
called?
you.
Humane societies.
No, he's definitely
He's done a lot of work. He's
Yeah.
donated a lot of charity towards animal
well, the
rights
thing was about
activists.
the whole thing is like it was like taking place at his house, but like he wasn't even there for it. Like
No, he was definitely part of it. He was a prominent member in the dog fighting ring, 100%.
I thought
Sure.
he ran it.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
did
he was
run it.
like-
yeah,
Yeah.
he was top dog.
What?
I didn't mean it like that.
Nice.
But you know what I'm
Making
saying.
Fun in an otherwise dark scenario,
Yeah,
and we need some of that in life sometimes.
yeah.
I'm
But yeah,
pretty good
so-
at it usually,
So long story short,
making light of situations that definitely don't need it or don't warrant it.
comedic
Just like-
relief is the play.
I'm like, well, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Some people are just like, what? I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, but it's crazy because most of those players got back in the league. It's only been Ray Rice and probably some lesser known
Dude, Ray
players.
Lewis stabbed somebody back in the
Ray
day.
Lewis killed a guy.
Yeah, dude, like that shit's.
He was like,
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way it didn't happen.
he was like, my blood was there, but probably wasn't for me. I still
wasn't
do
that
not.
dude injecting like animal testosterone around that time, like deer
antler
testosterone.
spray.
Yeah,
Deer antler spray.
dude, he was taking this stuff to boost his T levels or whatever, and he just went absolutely batshit.
It is interesting because Ray Lewis took the God approach after he got acquitted.
Yeah.
Which I still don't know how that happened whatsoever. So, like the verdict of the OJ trial, there was at least the whole like if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit type situation. There was a lot more media behind it. It was an international movement or a national movement to free OJ. But Ray Lewis, there was more than substantial evidence to lock him up for murder. And then right after that, he's like this God-fearing man who, says team prayers and does the National Day of Prayer and all this
Hey man,
stuff.
everybody's got their thing that they find to save themselves.
Yeah, if you kill someone, I mean,
Because let's be honest, your conscience probably can't be doing too hot.
nothing was better. I think Barstool released Ray Lewis killed the guy shirts.
Oh, jeez.
It definitely happened. But real quick,
Hang on, really quick. Does he say he says he didn't do it, right?
yeah.
No, he probably denies everything. Why
If
would
you-
you say you did it if you got acquitted?
No, I know it, but do you
Statute
think-
of limitations on murder is actually a decent amount of time.
You think he knows deep down, right? Like you don't think he's
Yeah.
convinced himself otherwise.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Haven't asked him.
No,
Let's call him.
I don't think.
Let's get him on the show.
Ray Lewis.
Did you do it? He'd be like, did I do what? Like, did you
He'd
kill
be
that
like,
man?
"Did I
He'd be like,
believe?"
nah, it was a chick, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, pretty sure it was a chick. But yeah, it's crazy. And the NFL needs to figure that out. It's interesting how, like, some players just get blackballed. Like, Antonio Brown, he's a scumbag.
And it's not, well, let's
But he hasn't, to the best of my knowledge, all of the sexual assault allegations have been proven to be false.
yeah.
And teams are still like, don't want to touch him.
It's crazy though, because I mean, we're just talking about the NFL right now, but there's like there's major professional athletes everywhere, not even outside of the U.S. that are just wild,
Dude.
Like
Dude.
Oscar Pistorius, that man
he's
was
in
just
jail.
like,
Oh yeah.
No, bro. You know what's crazy? One of the all-time best NBA players, Karl Malone,
yeah,
familiar?
oh yeah,
Yeah, the mailman.
the mailman.
Impregnated someone when she was 14. And
What?
nobody talks about it.
Carl.
What?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that, like, that happened, and people just are neglecting to talk about it. And because of this Last Dance Jordan documentary, and the season, like, is centered around against the playoff series against the Jazz when they win their final championship. Karl Malone was on that team. And that was,
He still leads. He still holds multiple NBA records too.
second leading scorer of all time in the NBA.
Yeah, I want to say he holds.
34,000 points?
He still holds a number one position for something. I can't remember what it was. I looked him up not too recently.
Maybe
Or I shouldn't say
seasons
not too
played.
I looked him up relatively recently because I work with a dude who wore a Malone jersey one day. And me being me, I'm not a big follower of the NBA, so I did not know who it was. I was like, "Hey man, that's a sweet jersey." And he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, the mailman." And I was like, "Yeah, the mailman." And I was like on Google, and I was like, "Who the fuck is the mailman?" And it was like Karl Malone, so I read up on him a little bit, and I was like, "Oh damn, this dude's he's a beast."
He's a unit, dude.
Dude put up
Yes.
some serious numbers.
He holds an NBA record for the most games started.
Yeah, that's what I said. Longest time playing.
Oh,
He was on the
He's like
03-04 Lakers team that lost to the Pistons.
he's
in
got
the
like that
playoffs.
Vince Carter-esque where he's just been around, been everywhere, done it. Like just,
Karl Malone was much better at basketball than Vince Carter.
oh well, I'm not doubting denying that at all.
Okay, side note, Vince Carter incredibly overrated. Besides the point.
Except for the fact that he just plays like nobody's business.
And wasn't he like special in that movie Like Mike?
Vince Carter?
Yeah, he was. Look it up.
Like
Yeah.
Mike?
No, Vince Carter had 3 really good years. Other than that, he's been like an average
Were
player.
they on the Raptors? Or was this before Raptors?
This was him on the Raptors. Well, it was him on the Raptors and then the Nets. So from like
Oh, that's
90
right, he did play
from
for
like
the Nets.
99
Yeah.
to 2003, Vince Carter was a really good player. But for the rest of his career, he's been a good player. The dunks, the swag.
He's a
the
good role
whole-
player.
He could easily be like a championship second best player in his prime, but he could never lead a team to the title by himself.
No.
He's not in that upper echelon. Like I would honestly make the argument that Tracy McGrady better. But
Oh, Tracy
we
McGrady's
could go and
definitely
do a lot of
better.
this, but
Tracy McGrady's an all-time OG.
yeah, if he stayed healthy, his
Rockets.
numbers
Tracy
would be insane.
McGrady used to just ball out in that backyard basketball.
Yeah,
game.
dude.
Remember Pablo Sanchez, who was in
Oh,
all of them? He was a
Houston.
beast.
Beast baseball, backyard baseball was electric.
Yeah, but McGrady was amazing. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. You just drive the lane and go in every time. Man was elite. The finger rolls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, boys. Kind of over talking sports.
Yeah,
Which
really,
is probably
you.
the first time I've ever said that in my life.
I don't think he
Sorry.
actually means it, but we're just going to roll with it.
No, I don't know.
Tim's like, not feeling it today. What do you want to talk about?
I'll tell you what, I got something fun for you guys. I wanted to ask you, I found this cool article about the most popular quarantine cocktails in each state.
Cocktails, huh?
Yeah, so let's make a little game out of it.
Interesting. I'm usually just like a pour it in a glass and drink it kind of guy. I don't really, well,
You don't drink straight liquor ever.
no, I usually just drink straight beer.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like. I was calling you right there. It's like no. Yeah, dude, cocktails. All right, list off your favorite cocktails right now, or like top 2.
Listen, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this one, but vodka bowl.
Vodka bowls.
You hand me a vodka bowl, I'm killing that.
I don't-
Is that a cocktail?
It's definitely a cocktail.
No, I think it's just considered a
it's a
mix.
mixed drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mix
what?
it.
Okay, well then let's decide this right now. What?
More than 2 ingredients.
So we need to have more than 2.
Yeah.
All right. What about like?
So I'll go first. I love an old fashioned.
Yeah,
Old
you make
fashions
them
are
well, too.
definitely
he's
my
probably
go-to.
gonna say Manhattan.
You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
You like Manhattans?
Those are harder.
I definitely like Manhattans, but I don't like them as much as I thought I would going into drinking them for the first couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I always expected to like them more. Something about vermouth. I don't know. Kind of rubs me
Yeah,
the
no,
wrong
that's
way.
fair.
That's I kind of agree with you on that. You made me drink a Manhattan one time, and you're like, "Dude, they're amazing," and I was like, "I've never had one." You're like, "Bro, I'm buying you one." I took like 3 sips of it, and I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever had in my life." And
That
he was
was-
like, he goes, "Yeah, they're not that great," or something like that. And I
Oh,
was
that
like,
sounds
"What?"
me.
And then he proceeded to drink the rest of it. He had like 2 himself, and
I'm
I was
pretty
just
sure,
like,
was that a jug?
"No, that was at CBC."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, I don't need this."
Other than that,
I mean, there's so many
other
different
than
ones.
yeah, I mean margaritas are considered
One
a
of the
cocktail.
best. They're so
Margaritas are elite for sure.
Margaritas are phenomenal.
good. Got the
Dude, I don't
hurricane.
know. I don't really spend too much time in the cocktail realm. I'm not gonna lie. I've had like some. It was some mixy. I want to say it was like a vodka tonic with like splash of Malibu or something really weird like that. I'm probably entirely wrong, but it kind of tasted like key lime. It pretty much tasted like key lime pie.
Yeah. Oh, whiskey sours.
Yeah.
That's my number
good
2.
call.
Yep.
What about like kamikazes?
Never had
Overrated.
one.
Heavily overrated.
Ooh.
List some popular ones. Like what? I want to see if I've had any of them.
Screwdrivers.
Okay, I've never had that.
Well, it's just screwdrivers are majority just vodka and orange juice.
How about a bushwhacker?
Oh,
You ever had a bushwhacker?
tequila sunrise.
I've punched a bush off a deck before, like a bush beer can.
Tim didn't like the bushwhacker option. He's
No?
like, not that one. I've never had that one.
Never had a bushwhacker, but
Yeah.
I was about to say tequila sunrises you would like.
Just another tequila
It's all about, like,
sunrise.
a blue Hawaiian.
I've had a blue motorcycle before.
Off topic, but I'll take it.
Well, it's still a cocktail, but yeah, made me
It's
think
blue,
of it.
I
I
guess.
own a blue motorcycle.
This guy. He's always one upping.
Yeah.
Bang.
He's like, also on a boat.
Yeah, he owns a couple
I got some
sweet
toys.
things. All right, let's play a
Couple of
little
sweet
game.
things.
So I have the list of the most popular cocktails from each state. I'm going to give you some states. You guess the
Like
cocktail.
of all time.
For quarantine.
Oh, just during
Quarantine
quarantine? Ooh. That's interesting.
All right.
That definitely puts an interesting twist on it.
Yeah.
Let's see
Okay,
it.
so
What's
these
first
are all
state?
homemade cocktails.
What do you
These
mean?
are all, I assume you would make them.
What's the
out.
Yeah,
difference
'cause-
between a bar-made cocktail and a homemade cocktail?
Because this is actually very important because you would want to hone in on guessing easier to make cocktails. Because there's not like,
Snag.
there's not too many experienced at-home bartenders.
No, but it's not hard to look up a recipe.
True.
When's the last time you looked one up?
I looked up how to make chicken fingers the other day.
That's what, on the back of the bag?
Yeah, great, right there.
Doesn't count.
3 minutes at 300 watts.
All right. So
All right,
we're
actually,
guessing the state, or
I want you to guess the state because I was going to make you guess the cocktails, and I'm afraid that
you have to give
may
us
not
a.
know all of them.
Okay,
so
how about this? You give us a region too.
I'll give you the region too. Okay. The first cocktail that I want to know where you think it's from is the Old Fashioned, one of Tim's favorites. The
Okay.
region, I'm going to start kind of wide, the eastern side of the United States.
I'm gonna go New Hampshire.
The eastern side of the United States, but you said kind of wide, so it's probably in the Midwest, which means I'm going. Oh, Kentucky, maybe.
The answer is Virginia.
Oh, I was gonna.
That actually makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Shouts out Virginia. I'm gonna.
I was trying to think who thinks they're classy as New Hampshire.
I love old fashions. I figured somewhere in the heart of bourbon country.
It's a fair point. All right, what's next?
The next one I have for you is the Cuba Libre. Cuba Libre. All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting.
I don't eat.
This has got to be a southern one.
Okay, we're going to
New
go
Mexico.
southeast.
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 I'm cutting it down slowly.
Okay, I'm gonna go Georgia.
Mississippi.
Florida.
Florida. Damn
Cuba
it.
Libre. feel
I
like
would
that
have
was very
guessed
Latino.
Florida. Definitely vodka Red Bull.
It's like crack, but liquid.
And legal.
God. Let me give you one more, and then we'll get to Michigan. So I want to know which state has the Paloma as their main cocktail.
Region?
Paloma is agave tequila, fresh lime, a pinch of salt, and pink grapefruit soda.
This has got to be
California.
west.
It's going to be west. It's
California.
going to be southwest, and it is going to be an inland state. So you are not touching the ocean.
New Mexico.
New Mexico borders
It does not
New
border the
Mexico.
ocean.
It borders Mexico. I'm gonna say Nevada.
It's Arizona.
Damn!
Arizona doesn't have any. Yeah. it's-
Arizona was the one I wanted to guess, but I like that state so much. I figured that you were not
Why I
going to
picked
pick
it. That's
something
why
that
I
I would
picked
pick.
Yeah, I picked it
Alright.
because I know you like
I
it.
was like reverse psychology, but I confused myself.
No.
That's right. All right, let's end on the classic.
Side duck hurt itself in its confusion.
Oh my god. Okay, so what is the favorite cocktail in Michigan during quarantine?
I'm gonna guess screwdriver. I feel like screwdriver's a big Michigan thing.
This isn't fair because I know the answer.
Oh, cheated over here?
I didn't cheat.
Did you look at the answers?
I
You
happened
cheated.
to
You cheated.
see the
Stare
screen,
at the screen.
All right,
but I'd come from upstairs when I came down. It was on the screen.
All right, Tim. What do you think is the most popular cocktail in Michigan?
I'm gonna say
Let me give you a hint. The name has 3 O's in it.
It's like Mississippi, but like flip the I's for O's.
I think there's more than 3 I's in Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Bang.
There's 4.
That's tough. Dude, I'm just gonna guess. Screwdriver's too easy.
There's no O's.
Stupid. Are you dumb? Are you
Struggling
stupid?
so much.
Are you
gotta
dumb?
think of- you gotta have a little bit of lime juice in this one, cranberry juice, a little vodka, citron.
I'm glitching. I ain't got none.
Cosmopolitan.
Bang.
Cosmo? That sucks. That's like
It is what it is.
that is the weakest drink we could possibly have. Like
I'm
all
gonna
right,
I'm gonna have to concur on this. It's weak. It really is.
I'm gonna say this.
You
If
agree?
I agree
You
because
can't
like,
walk up to a bar and be like,
dude, I've never walked up to
"Give me
any
a
bar and just
Cosmo."
heard some guy just go, "Oh, can I get a Cosmopolitan? Like, what's
"One
up with that?"
Cosmopolitan, please.
all right, so when I was bartending, we had our like house signature Cosmo. Probably made like 4 of them over like 8 months, 9 months.
You'd say 4 at Cosmos.
Pun City over there.
Once again, we're still looking for a new
not
producer.
doing this thing
new
anymore.
third
Kyle's like, we're
house.
not. No, turns out we're not looking for a new editor. Okay, what? I'm here.
My puns are funny. No,
My
but
puns are elite.
nobody drinks
My
Cosmos,
puns are
but
puntastic.
I'll put it this way.
Just put it in the past.
They're punctual.
What's pun is pun.
They're punctual.
Go ahead.
I hate both of you.
He's like, I'm getting lost.
Yeah, I'm like, too many puns.
Too much sauce.
Okay.
But
Cosmos.
yeah, if vodka bowls aren't the number one mixed drink or cocktail by the end of quarantine in Michigan,
Bro, Monster Bowl. What are you talking about?
your
Okay,
name
Kyle.
is Kyle.
No, that's a fact though. If Michigan does not have vodka bowls on the top of the list by the end of quarantine, I'm disappointed in everybody.
I will
'Cause
accept.
That's weak.
I will accept old fashions as well.
I want everybody cracked out on vodka
Dude,
bowls.
you'll see the cocktail list. It'll just have one item on it.
Vodka
Yeah.
bowl.
Vodka bowl.
They're like,
That's
this
a lot.
isn't even a cocktail based on the standards of what a cocktail is. And you're like, screw you, like it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Might be a
one
little
bit.
intense, but
We
I'm
should
just saying.
We should open up just a vodka bowl bar.
Oh my god. What would we call it?
Vodka bowl and go. Bowl
You
and
shouldn't
go.
be going after
VB
drinking vodka bowls.
Well, yeah, walking. You walk home.
Like, need some wings?
Oh, just wings? Wings bar?
Yeah, they walk up, could I get some wings? And you're just sitting there making them a mix, and you're like, no, I wanted wings. And you're like, dude, we're going to give you wings. Just try this.
That was terrible.
We'll chalk it up to another business plan. But,
Yes.
yeah. Well, that was cool.
Vodka bowl.
It's interesting to see, in quarantine, different places trying different things, just like...
Bet you what it was, dude. Somebody was in Michigan. They were just like, let's get fancy and make some Cosmos.
How did they even figure this out?
To mix those?
No, to find out who's
Well, they
making
did a
what at
survey.
home.
It's probably a survey.
How did they
Yeah,
figure that
okay.
out?
People who
Probably a
make
Facebook survey.
people who make Cosmos are definitely more apt to fill out a survey. Than
Not to
people
mention
who
they're more
make-
apt to be on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's the most Facebook drink ever.
You know how many Karens are just sitting on a Wednesday at 3 p.m. drinking a Cosmo?
Yeah, they're
on
sitting there
Facebook?
like, made a Cosmo. Might have another one.
Like, oh, that was a
You guys are
great
so
post.
mean. You guys are so mean.
You know us facts, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I actually ran out of one ingredient, but I used this really good organic blend of this and this. It's actually good. You should try
I
it.
topped it off with some fresh basil.
Put some fresh basil in it, and then I spit into it.
Guys,
because
stop
that
it.
just really adds to it.
I
You're
don't know.
alienating our mother viewers.
All 0 of them.
I mean, I don't think my mom's ever drinking a Cosmopolitan, so we'll chalk it up to a
We
dub.
specifically said Karens.
Yeah,
May I
Karens.
speak with your manager, Karens?
right. Bangs.
Bang!
All right.
Anyways. This conversation went off the rails. But, yeah. No, that's cool, though. That was a fun little game there. But,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but...
Hang on, I have a question. Can we look up what is the cocktail for the state of Nevada?
For Nevada.
Yeah.
It's just crack.
Jesus, leave him alone.
It's straight up methamphetamine.
I was like, we should put a little water in there, and it's good to go.
What do you think it is?
Oh, I don't know.
Screwdriver.
I want to say it's a
Screwdriver.
no. Hang on. I want to say it's like a martini.
Oh,
It's
that
served in a martini glass.
Manhattan?
Nope.
Um,
It's got white cream de coke. Is it cacao?
Espresso martini?
White cream de cacao, green cream de mint, and fresh cream.
I don't know.
Oh,
Big cream
mudslide.
guys out there in
Mudslide.
Nevada.
What is it,
Huge cream guys. It's the grasshopper, young grasshopper.
dude? I played for a baseball team called the Grasshoppers when I was
That's
a kid.
Hey, these Nevada people.
It's a
love
tough
it.
scene, dude.
That is nuts.
I've never heard of a grasshopper before.
I'm
That's
pretty sure
interesting.
that's the same as a mudslide.
It's like a green Russian.
Doesn't sound anything like what a mudslide would look like.
Oh wait, did you say mint?
Yeah, it's green, bro.
Oh no.
It'd be a weird
Peppermint patty.
mudslide. That's
Peppermint
like
patty.
a post.
It's called a
Taco Bell
grasshopper?
mudslide.
Imagine walking up to the bar. Can I get a grasshopper? They just look at you and be like, "No."
It's Vegas. They'd be like, "I'll give you 2.
Yeah.
Oh my
Now go
God.
gamble and let us take your money."
These are around the house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Boys, thoughts on this beer?
Yeah, let's finish this podcast
Yeah,
up
we'll
here,
come back.
folks.
Those. I'm not gonna lie. The cocktails sucked. That list, I'm disappointed in it. But this beer, I'm not disappointed
Yeah.
in.
Honestly, it's gotten easier drinking throughout the show. The bitterness threw me off for a smidge at the very beginning, but I'm not mad at it one bit. This has just been a overall pleasurable drinking experience
I agree.
from top to bottom. To get back at it, like Arbor Brewing, they just killed it. Like absolutely phenomenal IPA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this. If you're an IPA drinker, I'm gonna give this a rating of must buy. If you
Ooh.
are just maybe getting into IPAs and craft breweries as a whole, I'm going to give this an electric. But if this is in your wheelhouse, it's can't miss. Top notch stuff.
100%. It's a damn good beer. You really can't go wrong if you like IPAs. I think Tim's kind of spot on with that. You definitely, go out and give it a try. If you see it, pick it up. You're not going to be disappointed if you like IPAs. If you're not somebody who's accustomed to them and, trying to maybe find your way into maybe liking one, this might be a good one to start with because it has a lot of really good amenities to it in terms of being, you get the citrus, you get the floral aspects of it. The bitterness dissipates relatively quickly, and it pours extremely well. So all in all, I mean, there's a lot of great characteristics about it. I think it's a damn good beer. I'm definitely going to be looking to pick this up moving forward.
Oh yeah, great summertime evening beer.
Kyle, what about you? What are your thoughts?
You guys said it pretty well. The only thing I would add is I'm kind of enjoying it. Feels like it's pretty carbonated as a beverage, so it gives it a little bit of a bolder texture almost as it passes over your tongue.
Sure.
I like
And
that a
it
lot.
maintains its carbonation pretty well.
Yeah,
Seems
I was
to.
about to say.
Yeah. Some beers go flat pretty quick when they sit in the glass too long, which, plays well in some beers not so much, but this one, it maintained it super well. Like mine even still has a nice little layer of foam on the top of the liquid.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys. I seem like I have a little bit left, but
Yeah,
Finish it up.
I'm done with my drink, and I think that might be it for this podcast, boys.
It's a wrap on episode 12. I think it was a good one.
Cool. Well, make sure you guys like and subscribe this video, or like the video, subscribe to our channel. We're going to be putting out videos now 2 times a week during the weekday. We're going to switch it up from Wednesday and Saturdays to Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Fridays,
sorry. And to give you guys some weekday entertainment, get you through the work
Yeah,
week.
because we know it's getting nice outside. We know you want your weekends to yourselves, but we still want to give you time to watch the videos. So Tuesday, Friday,
Also,
check it out.
Coming up soon, we're going to be having all of our podcasts on audio platforms as well. We're working on that at the moment. So we'll get that out for you guys. Hats are coming in soon, like Nick said. So let us know if you want one of those. And I think that's about it.
As always, if you guys have any recommendations for segments you want to see, topics, any type of beers, let us know. Drop them in the comments on the YouTube channel. Drop them in the comments on the Instagram, the Twitter. We're here for it. Let us know what you guys want to see. We will happily oblige.
Yeah, I love when people send us stuff. It's
Yeah,
so
dude.
cool.
Some of the best beers we've tried so far have been recommendations. So
Yep.
I'm here for it. But all right, I think that's a wrap. You guys have a good one. Stay slightly buzzed.
Deuces, y'all. Cheers.
Ah.